car, actually, the Hyundai Coupe, that does provide quite a lot of slip creaming up.
Interesting to maintain this car doesn't run in.
You have a real argument when you're doing 2 seconds. You had to sit and do it away from the car.
Oh yeah, oh definitely, yeah. I can argue with myself over it, to be honest. We've already established that. Side by side between O'Kane and, is that one of the Rockies behind? No, that's the 28 car, isn't it, Stacchini? But out of the final corner, at the start of the first lap, or the end of the first lap, come on, Chaz, get it together, flipping heck. It is the number 69 car, Alistair Dendy, leading the way. Car number 1 in second place with his hand out the window there, he's straightening his wing mirror down the straight. Side by side between O'Kane and Stacchini. I told you Matt Mitter's excited, he makes it 3 wide. Down into Riches, only Matt Mitter. Oh, a little bit of a lock-up by O'Kane as he canes it round Riches. Still manages to hold on to it though, and it looks like Mitter's now got up a position ahead of Stacchini again, so yet more changing in the top half of the order. 21 car is a little bit further back than we would have expected. That's Sandford.
Yeah, it was a bit slow in qualifying, so we had to come in Sandford, lose the race and gain in experience, and I'm sure we'll get quicker over the weekend. But the race leader, Alistair Dendy, led by a full second from the mirror Justin Alex Kersley. In third position, the battle continued between Wayne Rocket and Neil Hurren. It is Neil Hurren in front, and they're still side by side behind. I think there was contact possibly involved in all of that at Agostini. They've come out the other side and didn't do much damage. I think Matt Mitter might have been involved in that again, Chaz.
Well, he's got Banks and Laurie queuing up behind him as well, actually, as they all try to get past Stacchini. And Luca makes it nice and tidy through Oggies. The rest of the field following on bit by bit, a little bit more spread out the further back you get, but still everybody that started the race continues to run. They go down towards Brundle and Nelson once again, then race leaders starting to break away slightly. Third place at the moment is Wayne Rocket. He tries to hold on to that spot though, ahead of Hurren in the all-white number 87 machine. That takes a bit of the line. Just behind defending from Stacchini. Now that looked like it might compromise on the exit there, Josh. Let's see how they get around to Cora.
Yeah, it's quite an entertaining battle. Next position. They don't know where one kicks up the dust, they go side by side through the exit of Cora. And it's such a difficult corner to break into Murray's. I don't think they're going to stay on the track here.
Hurren's gone wide, but he's actually got a good run.
But the battle for third across the line, Neil Hurren ahead of Wayne Rocket.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I said Hurren, it wasn't Hurren, was it?
So let's check out who this battle is.
Stacchini.
It's 9 at the front of it, so that's okay. And it's Stacchini and O'Kane. Sorry, it's Mitter. Mitter and Stacchini, isn't it? We're almost leaning on one another as they passed us, but they got away with all of that.
Getting very, very friendly there into Riches, incredibly close indeed. Looks like Becca Taylor is actually catching up with Herons as well in the number 65 car, isn't it? Sorry, I completely lost where he is on my entry list, which is very badly printed. Spencer Herons there, being caught up slightly. Looks like the top 4 are actually concertinaing together a little bit here, you know. Rocket is sort of pushing Hurren towards the back of the number 1 machine of Kersley.
A massive first sector from Neil Hurren. He was 6 tenths quicker than the first 2, which is in just what 1/3 of the lap. That's an impressive chase. But Neil Hurren is trying here as he turns his way left through Hamilton. I think Wayne Rocket gets it right. Dendy is pulling away from Kersley, isn't he? And then Alex Kersley is dropping into the clutches of those behind.
Mitter has lost a place to Banks now as well. Banks has got ahead, and all of a sudden Laurie in the 51 car is starting to look like he's on the charge.
I think Alex Kersley is a former winner of the Burkitt Relay, one of the most famous club races in the UK. The 6-hour race that takes place at Silverstone. And I think he's local here to Snetterton because he was a student of Lewis Beals, who commentates here at Snetterton.
Yes.
In second place. place. Wayne Rocket still chasing Neil Horan from there.
Yeah, commentating for this on the Citroen 2CV. After a long day, yeah, I must admit. Although admittedly one of the funniest things I've ever seen was a 2CV have a very slow suspension floated into over some wet grass and just rested gently against the barrier. Driver and car were absolutely fine. It was just, I think that cheered me up in the morning when I was that tired I felt hungover. But still, race leader 69 then, Alistair Dendy leading it from Alex Kersley. Then we have Hurren and Rocket still right together for third and fourth. It's actually looking a bit more evenly spread out between all the cars now though. That first sector for Hurren has definitely changed things around.
Where he gained in the first sector was Alex Kersley in the final sector. He was 6 tenths quicker than the leader, and he got the fastest lap. The fastest lap actually went over the whole lap to Neil Horan, 2:25.347. So some cars, or some drivers, are much quicker on different parts of this very different Snetterton circuit to other parts.
Yeah, it's a circuit that you really need a lot of confidence around. You know, there's a lot of corners here where you have to carry a lot of high speed, some that are very start-stop, so you need to be right on it when you get out of corner exit and get through the gears in these cars. I believe they are still the H-pattern gearboxes in these cars. It's not a sequential gearbox that they get to work through, so you have to be properly in tune with how your car works out of a corner, especially when you're coming out of corners like Oggies and Agostini as well. And then you've got to have the confidence to throw it in at places like Riches, Palmer, Brundle and Nelson as well. It really is a circuit that demands a lot of belief from driver and car, to be honest with you. But top 4 at the moment, nicely spread out. Let's see what the battle is like behind. You've still got Stachini, who is now breaking away actually from O'Kane, who's got Banks and Mitter really closing in on him. And then Laurie in there as well. Just behind Laurie, you've also got Evans in the purple and yellow car, so that's now a quintet as Mitter goes down the inside of Banks out of Oggies. Banks just ran a little bit wide on the exit, but of course he's going to have the outside line now as they go through Williams onto the back straight, down the Bentley straight, maybe a little bit of door banging that compromises both of their runs, so keep your eye on Laurie here in the number 51 car. He's going to try and go around the ball between left and right. You never quite know when you get down to Brundle and Nelson. You just got to see what happens when you get there and you stamp on the brakes.
That battle will change through this road. What?
Still ahead of Laurie, still ahead of Evans. Oh, that is the second of the Rockets flying off the road. That is Johnny Rocket. Almost makes a rocket salad as he goes onto the grass, I suppose. But still, top 4 then coming back towards us, crossing the line. That quintet in the background is certainly making a good backdrop.
Number 3rd, Wayne Rocket's getting alongside Neil Horan and nosing ahead and getting through. So Wayne Rocket goes up to 3rd. Although, using the toe, Neil Horan comes back at him.
Says not in your life. Whoa, back down the inside doesn't make it a Riches though.
And what's happening in that group behind? Well, they're a little bit spread out as they come across the line. With Eddie O'Kane at the front of it.
You know what, if they hold themselves up even more, if they have another battle on this infield, it's going to become a septet here as Johnny Rocket is now under attack from the car behind. That's the number 26 of Owens, trying to make it around the outside of Riches. There was only just a Hyundai Coupe car-sized gap around the outside there between him and the grass.
Is that easy to say?
No, it really wasn't. I bit my tongue in the process. But we've got Alistair Dendy and, of course, second placed Alex Kersley starting to break away a little bit now as Wayne Rocket and Neil Hurren start fighting behind them. Stachini's having a bit of a lonely race on his own now, and he can probably see this, what is now still a septet battling away. Banks is somewhere hidden behind O'Kane's car. He's got down the inside on the brakes. Matt Mitter's going to have a look as well. Got to remember which CCTV camera to look at. Matt Mitter late on the brakes, bit of a puff of smoke as well. Just behind him, Laurie is trying to wait for his opportunity as they make their way out. He's just got ahead of O'Kane, has Mitter, but then there's still 3 cars behind those pair waiting to pounce and take the opportunity as O'Kane has gone off. He's gone one way, then the other, loses the back end, but somehow manages to save it. That was a real tank slapper, wasn't it, Josh?
Yeah, he took Perry, didn't he?
He flicked the indicator on his safety.
That's right. That was quite the moment on the exit of Hamilton. We mentioned over the course of the weekend how quick and difficult a corner that is, and it bites you on the exit.
From where we stand, it's straight though, doesn't it? It's actually on the inside with an elevated position. It doesn't even look like much of a corner, but it is very, very sketchy in cars like this.
There's 3 minutes left on the clock. I think we've got 2 laps spread out the lead.
Away. One of the rockets has just gone flying off again. That was Johnny Rocket at the exit of Nelson. Big old cloud of smoke there. Well, smoke, dust.
I'm corrected. Across the line then, and yeah, they're just going to squeeze 2 more laps in, and the fastest lap for the leader actually, so the gap is a little bigger than it has been, so that is 69 Alistair Dendy, 2 seconds now clear of number 1 Alex Kersley, then 17 Wayne Rocket, 87 Neil Hurren, then 28 Lucas Tagini, and then we wait for the entertainers behind, and it's 27,
So
which is
Banks.
ahead now, yeah, so that is Darren Banks.
Banks, Mitter, O'Kane. Sorry, I was going to try and do it without looking at the timing screen, but it's Laurie, then Evans, then Johnny Rocket, and then Owens in the 26 has actually dropped away from that group right now, so there is still more shuffling going on between those cars.
I think Becca Taylor must have had a moment, because it looked like she was going to get ahead of Spencer Hirons, then she had a slowish last lap, and then she had a really slow first sector. So in her excitement to gain positions, she's lost out quite a bit.
Doing it for the YouTube views. That's what it is. She's just come out of the final corner now, actually. She's going to fly back past our commentary box. And again, interesting to see that car doesn't have the bigger rear wing on it that the others do. I was hoping to see if there was any sort of holes drilled to mount that wing, but it's got the standard Hyundai Coupe rear wing on it, which is quite interesting. So I'm not sure if that makes some sort of disadvantage or not.
Kind of one with the less drag, whether it was
Faster in a straight line. Might be a bit looser on the rear end as well, so hopefully that would sort of help pinch the front of the car into the corner, but then again it's her car, not mine, so you never know.
So this is lap 6, and we will squeeze 1 more in at the end of the lap.
The sextet makes its way around Oggies. It was a septet, but now it's a sextet as Mitter goes down the inside of Banks once again. I think there might have been a bit of contact there between the two. Banks lost a lot of pace, and the car looked a little shorter, so I think it was side on to us rather than completely straight. And Banks has lost a lot of ground now. He's now under attack from O'Kane, and then behind him is going to be Laurie.
Second, Wayne Rocket is catching Alex Kersley with 1 lap to go at the end of this. The gap, which was 2.5 seconds, about half of that now. Into that part of the corner for Wayne Rocket. Just see if we were 10 and 27 leading on each other. That was Nat Mitter and Darren Banks. That was through Williams a few moments ago. Meanwhile, the leaders do start their last lap. The big lead now for Alistair Dendy, 3.5 seconds. So Alex Kersley is coming under a lot of pressure for second place, because Wayne Rocket is going very quickly.
Yeah, he is actually. He's doing a fantastic job. He's really closed up in these last couple of laps. And it is the 2 Gen 3 cars at the front at the moment, ahead of one of the Gen 2 cars, and then the Gen 1 machine. Here is the big old battle in the middle. It's still Mitter ahead of the 27 machine of Banks. Then it's O'Kane, Laurie, Evans, and Johnny Rocket. And we wait a moment for number 26 of Owens to cross the line. He's certainly fallen away from that now, which is a shame, but still, there's plenty of battling going on ahead, as this will be the final lap now, will it not, Josh?
That's absolutely